Inside PressBox is presented by Friedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake. Go to FriedmontMortgage.com now for all of your mortgage needs. And welcome back to Inside PressBox. Before the break, we were discussing the Grand Prix with our panelist, Jay Davidson, who's the president and CEO of the Baltimore Grand Prix. Bob Leffler to my right, the owner and president of the Leffler Agency, and Terry Hasseltine, director, sports marketing for the state. The corporate community, how do you think they've responded to this? And the key thing I keep hearing out on the streets, not key, is whether they didn't sell corporate sponsor, a title sponsor.
Title sponsor. We've sold a lot of corporate sponsors. It's true we have not at tape time sold a title sponsor. And I think the key point there is we have a bucket to fill, and we're filling it. We're going to have 25, 30 sponsors for our event.
And congratulations on M&T Bank.
M&T Bank's a great one, absolutely great one. We're announcing also Budweiser, Royal Farms, a lot of key sponsors that are sort of local and
a lot of people
national.
That should be spending money on this show.
There you go. And then we've also, I think, Stan, we've also sold really a ridiculous number of suites. We're going to sell over 80 suites to this event. Just to give you sort of a frame of reference, a very successful event in St. Petersburg this past year sold 26 suites. So we're almost quadrupling that.
Bob, the television ratings for something like this, nationally and locally, can you tell us a little bit about that? Give us some insights into that.
I mean, NBC versus it's going to be serious. There is always a good number for the Preakness here, so I shadow that in terms of making a prediction. But a lot of the cable ratings of live sports are approaching some of the broadcast ratings. And this live sports on Sunday. I mean, people get a pride thing. Oh, look at these things going around. Look at the spot we made. I mean, we show the harbor. I mean, we sound the cars and we show the harbor. That's really what it's about.
Jay, tell us a little bit about the actual events. I think that's one of the things confusing to some people.
Sure.
They can't get their hands quite around this the way they understand the Preakness or the Super Bowl. How will people experience this locally?
So it's basically Friday through Sunday, Labor Day weekend, racing on all 3 days. We have 5 different series racing, so the track will be hot throughout the whole weekend. But we have a number of other sort of events going on. I mean, our 2 major events are the American Le Mans Series, which are the sports cars, the Ferraris racing against the Porsches and the Corvettes on Saturday, and then the Eyes Out IndyCar Series on Sunday, which has Danica Patrick, Helio Castroneves, the Andretti's, the same teams that race at the Indy 500, and Sao Paulo, Brazil, and Tokyo, Japan. But in terms of other events going on, we have a fun run sponsored by Care First on Friday evening, which will be fun, which will allow people to run on the track. We have go-karts, we have concerts throughout the weekend. Collective Soul will be playing Saturday night. It's going to be a great weekend for families.
How has the Baltimore Grand Prix handled this in terms of dealing with local residents, Terry, and local businesses, in your estimation?
Well, first-hand knowledge of this, I think the folks at the Baltimore Grand Prix, Jay and his entire team, have done a tremendous job. Councilman Cole, leading that effort, making sure the communities are engaged, they know what's going on. They're also the recipient of obviously some dollars that have been raised through the Grand Prix effort. So the communication chain from the onset to now has been tremendous. The businesses are well aware. The communities around the course are very well aware. So because they're engaged, they're backing, versus other sites where you've gone where they haven't been engaged from the get-go, they come out after the fact and cry wolf. So this has been great communication with the communities and the businesses.
Now, Bob, Jay's a local. Terry's here recently, so you go back as long as I do around here in a lot of ways. Are you surprised, given some of the negativity around here and the slow moving of government sometimes, that we got this off the ground as quickly and as successfully?
Yeah.
You are kind of surprised, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, we had to fight till the 11th hour with the Canadian Football League, try to get that thing. We were sweating it out that Schmoke was going to sign it. And then, I mean, we had close calls with the NFL thing, and there was a bunch of people. Look, we had a referendum against Harbor Place. It's Baltimore and it's Slow-to-more.
Yep. Well,
so
I remember
it's a good thing.
I remember a good friend of mine once told me that the Civic Center, which was built in 1961, they originally started talking about that in the City Council in Baltimore in 1906. I believe that was the year. Guys, congratulations on all your efforts toward making this a success, and we hope it is one. We trust it will be. Jay, I need you back in a couple weeks after.
Look forward to it, Stan.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you all for coming on.
Our pleasure.
And we'll be right back to talk to Joe Platania about some Ravens football that's coming up next. The Baltimore Golf Academy is now enrolling for its 2011 classes at Pine Ridge, Mount Pleasant, Forest Park, Clifton Park, and Carroll Park. Reserve your spot today. Classic5golf.com.